Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. Okay, so after a wonderful day of destroying my mini disc recorder, I thought it would be a good idea to destroy something else. So last night I was plugging something into my stereo cassette deck, my Pioneer deck, and I snapped off the RCA cable or the RCA connection in there. So I've got a pin lodged in there, RCA pin that I need to get out. Now I've researched a couple of methods on how to best do this. One involves melting down like a little wire, sticking in there because the core is like a plastic with a metal shroud on it. The other method is to take a screw and just kind of screw it in. So we're going to try that method first. It seems a little bit less risky. So join me, won't you, as I try to actually fix something. Welcome to the back of my stereo system. There's the back of the mini disc player recorder. As you can see, that's what an RCA jack should look like. But going down here to the cassette player, you can see that that white receptacle there has is clogged with, you can see the white plastic innards of that RCA plug. So I'm going to go ahead and rig up a screwdriver and a screw and try to take that bad boy out of there. Okay, using the back of my switch here as a guide, I found a screw that should fit in there okay. Leverage is going to be kind of tricky because, as you can see, it's up against the wall, and the screwdriver, especially with the screw, is going to be kind of long. So I'm going to have to maybe pull this off the wall a little bit, but let's see what happens. Okay, the bad news is I did have to move it. However, the good news is I've got a great angle to film it. So we're going to be screwing our screw right in there, and if this goes to plan, we should just be able to screw it in a bit, and once it sticks, we should be able to pull it right back out. Dang it. Okay, so I've got it screwed in there pretty tight, hopefully not too tight, and this should do it. So apparently too tight. Let's back that out a little bit. What do you say? Might have to revert to plan B. That didn't work. That didn't work at all. Might have worked if I had a thinner screw, but it was too wide and it started digging into the side of the RCA receptacle itself. So we're going to go with plan B, which is heat up a little pin, jab it in there, wait for it to cool, then yank it out. So I'm losing faith. You know, not many times in the course of working with records do I get to create fire, so let us go ahead and get our candle going. And what we're going to do, what we're going to do is heat up this nail over the flame till it's nice and hot. And then we're just going to stick that bad boy right in the receptacle and let it cool. And once it cools, we should be able to pull it back out. Top of the flame is the hottest part. Get this nice and hot here. I really hope I don't have to rebuild, like put on new jacks and stuff. I just want it to work, you know what I mean? I just want the dang thing to work. I don't know if this is actually going to get orange hot and stay that way. Kind of looks that way on camera, but to the naked eye it just looks black. Anyway, we'll get this nice and hot, stick it in there. The receptacle itself, I might have damaged the outside edge of that white plastic lining a bit. I don't care if it looks pretty, I just want it to work. All I want it to do is work. It's a line input, that's a record input on the tape deck. So, anyway. Alright. This has got to be freaking hot by now. Alright, so I'm going to stick it in there. Alright, I guess I'll let it cool for a few minutes and then try to pull it out. Moment of truth. It's usually where everything goes haywire on this show. It's been in there for about 5 minutes. Hopefully it's enough to cool it off. And I'm going to try and pull this out. I'm going to try and pull this out. Really, bro? All right, I'm going to try it again. Kumbaya to me. Please, dear God, make this work. Okay, it's been cooling for like 15 minutes. Try a little twist and pull. Twist and pull. Bring it out. Come on. That's the current state of affairs, which is not good. So yeah, here's the inside of this. What was once a beautiful Pioneer tape deck. Right now it is currently just a big pain in the, you know what. I don't know if I can even access the back of that enough to push it out, but I'm going to try. Interested to discover some Sony chips in this Pioneer. Kind of interesting. And a Bando branded power supply. But obviously the main IC is Pioneer. Kind of interesting though. I had this great idea that I could just stick like a sewing needle through that little opening in the back. And let's just say it didn't go very well because I am the only guy in the history of time to break a sewing needle into 3 pieces. I don't even know that was a possibility, but yep, I did it. So I really wasn't expecting to have to do this today, but this one is going to that audio rack in the sky, all over a 3-cent connection, which is really sad because the rest of the deck is in really good shape. So we're gonna go over, see what the thrift store has. Hopefully something with logic controls. I really like logic controls. I don't want any paddle switches. I'm gonna miss this. Bought it for $10 at a garage sale about 5 years ago. I would say I definitely got that use out of it. So, all right. Okay, here we go. Boy, I really don't want to have to do this, but it's kind of fun. But at the same time, present circumstances, right? Turning into much more of a complicated episode than I originally planned. All right, next place, because the first place had tape decks all over the place last time, but today they're all gone. That's the nature of a thrift store, I guess. Okay, everybody, so I decided I couldn't find anything at the store, so this thing is really ugly still, but I took it back and I just went ham on it. I started stabbing stuff in there from the back and the front and really trying to, you know, just dislodge whatever was left in there. And it's ugly. I bent the case in the back a little bit, but overall, it still works. I was able to test it once I made that final, you know, push there. We got audio on both channels coming in, and like I said, everything else on the deck is immaculate. It's in really good condition, so it's a shame. I was so close to chucking it in the trash too, so on one hand I'm glad that I didn't do that. On the other hand, I kind of was looking forward to a new tape deck, honestly, but that's okay. We'll make this one work as long as it lasts. So I hope you thought that was an interesting show. It was definitely not what I had planned, but nonetheless, you and I probably both learned something. So what you probably learned was how bad I am at this. So anyway, happy record hunting, guys. We will see you tomorrow.